Hi there, this is Jo Delamore, and I'm hiding out underneath this tree right now because it is so hot and sunny out there in the desert. I just tried to make a video out there for you and couldn't even think straight. So here I am now underneath the tree. I'm in the shade, and I want to talk with you today about the experience that I've just recently had with recognizing that I needed help and asking for it and being able to receive it. And this is something that comes up for all of us all the time. You know, we need help in our lives. And we live in a kind of a weird culture that is a pull-yourself-up-by-your-bootstraps kind of culture. And everybody should be able to make it on their own. And everybody's kind of dealing with their own issues in isolation. Sometimes we can't even share the things that are going on with us, with our partners or with our close family, our close friends. And that's not the natural way. That's not the way that we were designed. We were actually designed for deep communion. We were designed for community and for tribal living, for a sense of togetherness, for that bundle of living together and helping each other through all of the ups and downs and ins and outs of life. And I happen to live in a situation in a small town here in Colorado where we are kind of adventuring out into that. We're kind of experimenting with and learning how to support each other and how to be community together. And we share many different spiritual practices here in our community, which is really just so supportive and so helpful. And so as I was getting ready to get on the road to head out on my adventure for the summer and facing all of the stuff that means for me, facing all of the feelings and the challenges and the fears and the insecurities and the worry about money and logistics and timing and all of those types of things, I started to get really kind of stressed out and was really feeling like, oh, this is all, I have to figure this out all on my own. And I kind of spun out on that for about a week, and in that frenzy of worry and anxiety about what was coming up, I got the message. I realized, oh, I need help here. I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. I can't be the sole driver of this ship here. That first and foremost, Spirit is driving this ship. First and foremost, Spirit has put my life in a way, made my life in a way that this is the next piece for me to do, is to go out on the road to bring the teachings and the experiences that I've had the privilege of being exposed to out to the people in the northeast of this country. And that's Spirit's job. And I'm just kind of going along. You know, I'm just kind of going along for the ride. And so if I start to think that I'm going to work it all out, all the details, then I'm kind of off there. And so first and foremost, I need to ask for help from Spirit. And secondly, I needed to ask for help from my community, because these are the people who Spirit has given me and we've given each other this experience of connection, this experience of support and of real human relations developing, of being able to witness each other and see each other and hold each other through those ins and outs and ups and downs and the challenges that life brings us. And also because the works that I'm going to be bringing out on this journey, on this trip, in these workshops that I'll be facilitating as I travel, is so much a conglomeration and a gathering of all the different teachings that we share together, that we've learned together, that I've learned from my community members, that I've learned through working with my community members, that we've been able to experience in our shared spiritual practice over all of these years. And so as I was frenzying up and getting ready to go, I realized, oh, I have to stop and ask for my community to gather. And so I had this beautiful experience, not without its challenges and its kind of tricky little spots along the way. But I had this beautiful experience of being able to ask for a sweat lodge ceremony to help ground and center and focus intentions for this trip, and a beautiful group of people gathering, saying yes, we'll be there for that. And then noticing and realizing right in the midst of, as we're preparing for the sweat lodge ceremony, that the wildfires that are around us right now in Colorado are flaring up. And we have one very close to here that is, I think, about 50,000 acres at this point, and it's really flaring up. And right 2 days after I asked for the sweat lodge, a statewide fire ban came into effect. And we work with the elements here. We work with the fire, we work with the water. We really pay attention to these elements and how they are communicating. And so with the fire ban and the situation here and the high risk of fire danger here, it became very clear that we weren't going to have a sweat lodge, because the sweat lodge requires a nice big bonfire. And so we decided not to do that. And I still felt in my heart that I needed to gather in prayer, and I needed to gather with my community. And so the woman who was going to offer this ceremony, who is going to be facilitating the sweat lodge, she's also been initiated into a beautiful Guatemalan ceremony called the Mama Olla. And she offered that as an alternative. And so through kind of just working with how the whole thing unfolded and all of the people gathering and the circumstances at hand and what was offered, we were able to come into a really beautiful ceremony together, one that I had never experienced before. And through knowing in my heart that I needed help and staying clear with that and having the courage to ask for help, which is tricky sometimes, it's scary to ask people to come to your aid. To even ask Spirit to come to your aid. And so to know that and to feel confident in that, ask it, and then also to be able to be flexible with how it was delivered, so that I could receive it graciously, so that we could be, in right relation with each other and with the whole environment here. This was so beautiful, and what it offered, what it delivered, was this ceremony where my closest friends and family were able to contribute their offerings through the Mama Olla, through this beautiful ceremonies, which is all about offerings, different kinds of foods that symbolize different things. And my family was able to pick and choose amongst maybe 50 different offerings there to contribute into the central pot and make their prayers and contribute to this bundle, to help co-create this bundle that I'll be bringing forward. So now I feel all blessed up and ready to go on the road. I feel so relieved to have asked for the help and received it, and to be, grounded and centered into this unfolding, rather than trying to figure it all out on my own, but just to center myself into it, humble myself to the larger unfolding that's happening here. And so I offered that to you as an example, a tangible example, of when you are facing any kind of challenges in your life, any time that you feel like it's all on you and you've got to figure it all out on your own, and that's causing stress or anxiety or worry, or that you just feel like it's too much to face life as it is, or the anxiety and struggle and depression comes in, that the act of asking for help is a huge healing in and of itself. And then the skill and the ability to receive that help graciously is this opening that heals so deeply, that can heal us so beautifully. And that it's through our connections, through our relationships with each other, that we become more fully human, and we get to relax into this greater unfolding and kind of humble into this beautiful design that we live in. So I offer that up as an encouragement for you to find the places in your life where it's appropriate to ask for help, and to learn how to receive it, to play with receiving it graciously and in a flexible sort of way, and to really just give you that kind of permission to be human amongst humans, to be human in this greater spiritual unfolding, and to know that it's not all on you, and that no one of us can face this whole mystery of being alive on our own. So many blessings to you. I hope you are able to ask for and receive all the help you need in this world. Aho.